Okay, I just gave a tutorial on putting on your shoe again. And why? Because when you put your shoes on, that's the almost the number one thing that pulls people's back out. So I do this quite often just as a reminder. So I have a low bench here. You don't see it. I don't know if you see it. And then I have my chair, which I'm going to use. It's a very humid, warm day here in Michigan. And I just put on my shoe. So just to remind you, whether you're standing or whether you're sitting to put on your shoe, you hip hinge and you push your butt back. Okay, you keep your chin tucked. And you can either do that here. I won't go through the whole thing, just a little bit. Okay, see how I'm bending forward with my back very extended? That's how you put your shoe on. You don't go down here and round your back out. Okay, now that said, one of the first moves I'm going to do to get you warmed up is I'm going to encourage you to round, not your low back, but your upper back to get warmed up, because we're going to do a gentle cat camel. I got my gloves here, and on very humid days where the weather's doing all kinds of weird things to us, wear your gloves, put your hands here. And now, see, I'm going to push my butt back. I'm going to act like maybe I'm tying my shoe, but then what am I going to do? I'm going to round my shoulders. I'm going to push against my hands, drop my head way down and push my shoulders open. Then I'm going to rotate through the hip and I'm going to push my butt back and I'm going to go into that hyperextension. So to get ready for what we're going to be doing, we're going to do about 3 or 4, and they're called cat camels. Okay, so I'm going to round my upper back, drop my chin, breathe through my nose. Then I'm going to rotate and push my butt back. Drop my shoulders, drop my shoulders, drop my shoulders. And then one more time. Here we go. See, I'm changing the position of my hip bones. Okay, so I'm going way down into a hyperextension. My elbows are soft. And I'm going to go up with my chin just a bit. Then I'm going to tuck under, tuck under, tuck under, tuck under, open my shoulders, up, open my shoulders, up my shoulders. Tight tummy. Now push back into the heels and then come up. Then step forward and step forward. And when you step forward, ask yourself, what's the position of my feet? How far am I stepping? Okay. So you want your feet to be straight position, pretty much straight. And I'm just doing the normal, a little bit over what I would normally do for a step. So I wouldn't normally step like this just by walking, right? But I'm wanting you to put pressure right in the front leg. Rotate your back one. We've done this many times. It's one of the foundational ways to get your joints warmed up. Now, as you're doing that, I'm going to do a move that might cause you to lose your balance. And you're saying, well, why would you do that, Jeannie? I'm saying because I want you to actually push your balance systems. And you're going to be shocked if you step the way I'm stepping right now. Your tummy's tight, your shoulders are down, you step a little wider than you would normally step for a walking step. And then you merely open and close. And as you open and close, you want to keep your shoulders down. So I'm going to step. Yeah, we had a great time yesterday. It was a great group. Lots of laughing. Lots of eating. Take a big breath. Okay, right here, pull your rib cage up because some of you have done this and you don't even realize you've done it. So I caught you because I know. How do I know? Because you're slugs. We're all slugs at some point. And until I catch you on those little sluggy behaviors, you just slip them in. That's why. So how do you retrain? Number one, slow down. Don't be in such a hurry to go to the next move. Now right there, before I even opened and closed my arms, I said rib cage up. And if you're in this kind of a position, I can tell you, you're going to get off balance. Yes, that's what I want, because I want your body, your brain, your muscles, all your sinews, all your synapses to go through what it takes to get you back on balance. So that's why I'm practicing with no weights. I have my hands here, my chair is here, or you could be doing this by a wall. But when you step forward, okay, and you do just a little bit of a dip in the back, you open and close. And when you're opening and closing, right there, ask yourself, where's my shoulders? Yeah, drop your shoulders and lift your rib cage. Because some of you just drifted a little and you're thinking, oh, well, what's the big deal? Well, here's the big deal. See, if I drift just a little bit, if I flex my back just a little bit while I'm doing this, see? And then we go and we do this move with big weights on our shoulders, then that can have a negative impact on your vertebrae, on your hips, on your knees. Do you see what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about. Okay, now we're going to go side to side to side to side, stepping still, a wide step. See, I want you to do a wide step. You're dropping your shoulders, and at the same time, you're saying rib cage up. Okay, put your heel down and back. Yeah, it's a gentle stretch. Now bend your back knee a little without pulling your heel up. Drop your shoulders again, take a breath. Yeah, I know, take a breath and through the nose, Okay, see, I'm bending and straightening by back knee. I don't know if you see that. I'll turn to the side. So I'm stepped wide. I'm bending and straightening. See this? Bending and straightening. But my heel is on the floor. Okay? Floor. F-L-O-O-R. F-L-O-W-R. Floor. Okay. Why do I do these things? Because I have a lot of teachers in class and I like to mess with them. Okay, switch. See? So now I'm going to switch. I got to take a little wider than a normal step. A normal step might be this. So a little wider. My toes are pretty straight, right? Then I go rib cage up. That one move is the one move that I want you to get in your brain, because many of you will start this action. You'll start this action and you're going to be down here. So pull yourself back, bring your rib cage up, keep your heel planted, bend and straighten, bend and straighten through this knee. This one pretty much stays here. And you're just going to go a nice pendulum swing. Keep your shoulders down, say rib cage up. Take a big breath. Yes, yes, and yes. Bend and straighten. Bend and straighten on that leg in the back. So you should feel nice little stretching. Okay, rib cage up again. Breath, breath, breath. Breath, breath, breath. And then come back up and push back. Now, you might think, oh, why is she spending so much time on this? Because I am trying to get people moving that have joint issues, that are maybe recovering from surgeries. Maybe they have had joints replaced. Those kind of moves are big moves. So I'm going to step out now like this, and I'm going to once again act like I'm pulling my rib cages up. Okay, when you think somebody's putting their fingers under your rib cage from behind, which I've done this before, pull up. Whoa, what a difference that makes. I will challenge you to have that in your mind. If you're a walker, if you're a bicycle rider, if you're a gardener, put that thought in your mind. I'm behind you, I'm reaching around, and I'm pulling your rib cages up. It will make a difference in how you move, okay? So the same thing. So see, I'm gonna go this way, and even though I may bend to the side and do a side lunge, this is a side lunge, I'm not going to go really far forward. See, I'm gonna try to say rib cage up. It's very different, and I'll show you how different if you stay with me and do these things. Don't just look at them. Say rib cage up, push to the side, push your butt back, but hold your ground. Don't go forward too much, okay? Now do it on the other side, okay? Rib cage up, push your butt back. Don't go too far down, but you should go far enough to where you're feeling this. See that? Yeah, just slide, say rib cage up. Okay, now I want you to try something different. Totally disregard the rib cage up thing, okay? We're gonna move to the side, and I'm just gonna let you come forward as far as you want. And you will see that this is super easy. You can go deeper, but it's super easy because you are not demanding that your spine straighten up, okay? You're just going into this. It may even be extended. And maybe we'll do this for other reasons, such as back here, a little turn, see, back here, a little turn. But now come back and do what I just told you. Pretend I'm behind you, and I've sunk my fingertips right into your ribs here. Drop your shoulders. Now, hip hinge and push back, but keep your rib cage up as you're coming down. It is a whole different move. And if I have weight on your shoulders, whoa, you're gonna have to get stability, and you're gonna have to get a line up, or you could do some damage, okay? Especially when you start to add free weight. So just know that. So as I come down now, I can do whatever I want to with my hands, but I'm not going very far forward. I'm trying to say rib cage up, rib cage up, rib cage up, rib cage up. Big breath, big breath, big breath. And you can try it out several times. It's almost like you can't believe the difference. That if you move this way and you are fighting going forward, you'll go forward a little bit, but stay with that rib cage up mantra in your head. It is a whole different thing than when you just say, okay, forget that. Let me go down as far as I want, release. You can go way down, but it's a whole different move. We're gonna do that very move in just a minute with some weights, okay? So that's why I'm taking so much time on this issue. Okay, face your chair. Little standard move. See, I'm not worrying about getting my whole foot up there on the first one. And those of you who know that you struggle with balance, maybe you're recovering from an operation on your knee, Kathy, maybe you know that you struggle with balance. And let me just interject here. Anybody that has a significant forward bend for whatever reason, whether it's forward shoulders, whether it's scoliosis, whether it's arthritis, you already are walking around with compromised balance situation. So what are you supposed to do about that? Okay, we're not gonna cure it. We're gonna try to manage it. We're gonna try to get stronger every day that we can. And we're gonna use any kind of assistive devices. Then we're gonna slow the heck down, okay? Yeah, slow down a little bit. Make sure that you line yourself up and that you give your spine a fighting chance. So what am I doing? I'm taking the time to gently get my leg into this 90 degrees. And you notice I'm letting my heel hang. See, I'm not coming way up yet. And I've got my little pole. See that? It's right there. It's that third point of contact. So when I take the one point of contact out and I do one-legged standing and I'm shifting back and forth and I'm tightening and I'm dropping my shoulders, I'm doing all of those things, I have this third point of contact. And that will save me from going to the floor when I didn't want to. Sometimes we want to get down on the floor, but sometimes we do not. And we do not want to go down into the floor when we don't want to, right? So I'm telling you how to help with that. You get used to shifting. You get used to doing one-legged stances. You get used to having a third point of contact. See, here's 3. 1, 2, 3. Then I shift. Then I bring it up. I'm still hanging my heel. Okay. So now I'm going to bring it up about an inch higher. I'm going to bring my knee up an inch higher. So I'm going to shift. I'm going to do a hip hinge. I'm going to say rib cage up. Very important. Rib cage up. Now I'm going to lift weight up and put my whole foot on the chair. So if you're going from a toe and a heel hang to the whole foot, okay, that is a huge difference. Do it a few times and you'll see what I'm talking about. Okay, shift, rib cage up, bring that whole leg up and bring it up. Got it? Bring the whole leg up, bring it up. Listen, if you want to help your gait, if you want to help your leg strength, what I'm doing right now, we're going to do in just a minute with leg weights on. I'm just warning you. See this? That's why I want you to know that if this is too high, then it's perfectly fine for you to use this stinking little pad here. Put it down and just bring the foot up and put it down. See, that's okay. Because we're going to do it with weights on our legs. All right, a couple more times. Anyway, let me finish my statement. So where do I start a lot of times with people who I have worked with, some of my clients' parents, for instance, because they're having trouble walking, because we've lost a lot of strength. There's all kinds of reasons why. And this is one of the first things I try to get to do. And we'll start low first, and we'll do a progression just like we just did. And then we'll do some repeated knee ups. I call them repeated knee ups. We're just using a stair as an assist, okay? So now what I want you to do is pull your foot back here, okay? Pull it back, and you can use your bar here, or what's even better on this particular move is just lean in and put your hands on your chair. Now, let me explain. Do not be pushing on that chair. You know what will happen there. So when you put your hands here, say rib cage up and strike a match. See, I'm going to do this repeatedly. So before I pull the leg, I'm going to say rib cage up. I'm going to pull that heel to my hip. Pull that heel to my hip. Say rib cage up. Breath. Heel to hip. Rib cage up. Heel to hip. Rib cage up. Heel to hip. But I'm going to go rib cage up. Yeah. One more time on either side. Don't point your knee out. The knee should be pointing down. And this one that I'm doing right now, if I had a magic wand to make you do anything I wanted you to, I would have you doing this match strike probably 3 sets of 10, pretty much every day. So if you want to get stronger, start helping your hamstring and gluteal muscles to get stronger. And this is one of the ways, okay? And we're going to do this with a leg weight here in just a minute. But I want to make sure that you have your rib cage fully lifted. And when you strike that match and you bring that heel in, make sure the knee is pointing down. And why do I tell you this? Because many people will do this. You see that? I don't want you to do that. I want you to strike the match and bring the heel straight in, point straight down with that knee. Okay? All right. Take a big breath. So I just now bent down. And I hope you're watching, because normally I was right there with everybody else until you've done this for so many years, you just retrain. But you want to go down and throw something out of the way, whether it's a stick, whatever's in your way. So what do? We stand too narrow and we bend our back and we go and we stay up here and we grab whatever it is, and we've already gotten ourselves really heading toward trouble. So what do I do first? I needed to move my little stick. I take a wide stance. I hip hinge. I say rib cage up. I bend my knees and hip. I grab whatever it is and I do whatever I want to with it. So that's how you do that without hurting your back. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and pick up weights now. And I'm going to start with a medium weight. So we've done a lot of work. That's to start with. And now I'm going to start with a medium weight. So for me, a medium is 9 and 12. Okay. Then I start going heavy at 15 and 18. Okay. Yeah, you can go more, you know, depending on if you've been doing a lot of stuff, if you have shoulder issues. So even a guy that might be very much stronger and could pick up the whole 18, or they could pick up 20 and 20. A lot of times your weights will be, you can buy them in 15s, 20s, you know. These, however, go up to 18. I have one that goes up to 30. Anyway, those of you who think I'm going to go heavier, well, think again, because a lot of times we have injuries in our shoulders, we have injuries in our necks, and if we go grabbing too heavy of a weight too quickly, that in and of itself is not going to help you. Okay, so keel back, do a few, see, it's not just the bicep. See what I'm doing? I'm shifting into this leg and into this leg, but I'm saying rib cage up. I'm hip hinging and I'm coming here. I'm hip hinging and I'm coming here. So I'm not swinging, I'm actually shifting to such a point that I actually want you to bring your heel off the ground, okay? Because yeah, we're gonna pull our toe up after a couple of these little bit of a shiftings and liftings. So you need to know that in research done with losing balance, the biggest reason, one of the biggest reasons, I think hands down, the biggest reason is losing strength, losing muscle. But the other one is the inability. So here I'm going to go right now. I've shifted. See, I'm right here. I've slowed down. My rib cage is up. And now I'm going to say, pull your toe up so that you're doing a one-legged holding weighted stance. And the ability to shift and the ability to pull yourself out of a compromised position. You've gone too far forward, you've gone too far back, you have to catch yourself. That's what I'm talking about. It's the catching yourself that we have lost the ability to do. Because what would normally not be anything to a younger person, for us, if we shift too much one way, too much the other way, and we have to catch ourselves, we've lost that ability. And a lot of it is because of what I'm doing right now. See, I'm having you soften up your joints, rib cage up. I'm having you think about where you're shifting. And then I want you to take the structure right out of there and on one leg. See that? And then you come down. And so I want you to get to where you can do this maneuver as you're lifting. So see, I'm going to go right here and I'm going to hang out here. If I need to, I'll put my toe down. But if I can, I will do this without the other leg, the other foundation. Then step. Take a big breath through your nose. You're shifting. Okay. Bring your heel first. Start your lift. These are just simple little hammer curls. See, I'm just keeping my shoulders down. And now I'm going to take my toe and I'm going to lift it. And I'm trying to hang out here with my knee soft. And I keep having to put my toe down. And that's okay because I'm drifting. See? And I feel it and I put my toe down. Take a big breath. Take a big breath. Take a big breath. Take a big breath. And then step right there. Okay? Now, what if we did that whole thing and we were on our little balance pads? You see where this is going. I just want you to think about it right now. Okay. So, if you have wonky shoulders, any kind of a wonky neck or back, don't be going so heavy right now with your weights. You might be thinking, oh, I want to really tighten up my muscles in my arms, so let me go really, really heavy. Don't be so fast to do that. Sometimes you need to step back and you need to really think about your form before you go lifting a lot of weight. So right now we've been doing hammers, right? So now we're going to do not a straight on curl, okay? We're going to do a 45-degree curl. And what am I going to do? I'm going to put my toe back. Remember that? We did that, right? So now I'm going to start right down here. I'm going to say rib cage up, and I'm going to just go to one toe. See, I'm going to put my toe back here, and it's going to be on the ground, but not my heel. Then I'm going to pull it forward. Then I'm going to go curl, and I'm going to step back. See that? That's it. And as I curl, I want my arms to go out a little, like in a 45-degree angle out. Not like out, but I don't want to be here. So take a big breath. I don't want to confuse you. It's just a little 45-degree angle bicep curl. That's all it is, okay? But at the same time, we're going to be going back here because it gets us off balance, which is what I want to do. See that? So tighten tummy. Here we go, 45-degree. Ready? Big breath through the nose. Pull, toe back. Take a breath, pull, and toe back. And don't be gripping. Don't be gripping the barrel of your weights too hard. You don't want the effort to go there. You want the effort to go right there. Toe back, pull, toe back. So your shoulder blades have to be squeezing in order to do this move. Put your shoulders down and squeeze your shoulder blades. Big breath. Okay, exhale right there. Bring that toe back. Right there, 45s. Here we go, 45-degree angles. Keep your shoulders down. Big breath through the nose. Yeah, you should be getting tired right about now, depending on how much weight you decided to do. Do you see where my weights are going? See, I'm just coming right in here. I'm not going any farther. Look at my elbows. Look at my elbows. They don't leave my side. So don't take your elbows out. Keep your elbows tight into your sides of your core. Look, see? See? Don't take your elbows up. Right here. One more. Yeah! It's a different move. Right there. And bring it back. Okay. Big breath. Okay. Step forward. I got my toe back. Now I'm going to lean, but I'm not going to cave. What does that mean? I'm going to lean out, but I'm going to say rib cage up because those elbows are going to come right here, tight. And they're going to go push back. And they're going to go push back. Take a breath through your nose. Push back. Keep your elbows in. Your elbows should be touching the sides of your body. Right there. And hip hinge lower if you want to. Yeah, if you can get almost parallel, well, good for you. Take a big breath. That front knee is bent. Rib cage up. Big breath. Big breath. Don't get in a hurry. Don't get in a hurry. Keep your elbows in. Keep your elbows in. Keep your elbows in. Big breath. Just three more. Just three more. Here we go. Push. And push. And push. Okay, now step back. Take a big deep breath. Little inner set here. I still am having my 9 pounds. So that's one of the keys to getting your muscles going, getting all the muscles alerted that, you know, this old girl is still living. So we need to do something here. So you just don't want to get in a hurry, number one, when it's hot and humid. And number two, just go a little lighter than what you normally could do, maybe. Okay? So I'm saying this, giving these suggestions as a safety precaution. And so when you think about doing huge effort, see what I'm doing? I'm just squeezing my shoulders up to my ears. That's it. I'm working those shoulder blades. I'm working that whole trapezius muscle. I'm working all the muscles around the clavicle bone that's connected to the shoulders. Yeah. So a lot of movement in this little move. There's a lot going on. Okay, are you ready? We're going to step out with the other leg. I know it. You have 2 legs. We're going to do 2 sets of this. Now, I'm going to hammer again on your positioning. I'm leaning forward from my hip. I can even lean more, but this front leg is going to have to really work or I'm going to fall over on my nose. See that? That's the stability component. At the same time, I want to get my elbows in tight. Okay, do not round your back here. You can lean all you want, but don't round your back. And when you go out like this, those shoulders are down and squeezing. Then they release. Then they go down and squeeze. Tuck your chin, down and squeeze. Big breath. Through the nose, down and squeeze. Big breath. Take a big breath through the nose. When I say down, put those shoulder blades down and come down if you can. Through the hip hinge. Don't cave. Don't round your back. So keep those shoulders down. And they're squeezing now. See, now I release them. Okay, now I push them down again. So you're having a constant down and push, and then a down, and then an up and release. See that? Okay, 3 more, we got it. Okay, 2 more. Breath. 1 more. And bring it back. And bring it back. Yes. Okay. I'm going to bring these weights, and I'm going to go right here. Because I'm going to bring the point home that I made on the get-go during our warm-up. Okay? Now, again, I can't remember I said this when I started the recording. I was talking to some of you who came on early. So what I have above me is an overhead fan. On a hot, humid day, when you're doing some work, get you a fan around you, okay? So now I want you to really test what I was showing you. I'm going to go wide. And what am I going to do? I'm going to just hold these weights in place with my fingers, my thumbs. See that? I'm going to tuck my chin. So rib cage up. I'm going to hip hinge and do a side lunge, but I am not going to cave. Okay, I'm not going to go down as far as we just did. I'm going to keep my rib cage up high, and I'm going to try to go as far as I can. But now I am making my spine, my vertebrae, the muscles around it work. Okay, so rib cage up, shift. You're going to bend the knee on where you're going down, that side, but don't cave. Don't go too far forward. Stay up. Say rib cage up. You're going to feel what I'm talking about. You can't go very far because you feel those back extensors just going, whoa, what's she doing? See what I'm saying? This is where you do not want to do a twisting move. So we're turning here into the hip. So bend in the knee. Now say rib cage up. Pretend I'm behind you, pulling your rib cage up. As you push your butt back and go down as far as you can, you'll go down a little bit, but fight the resistance of, and resist the feeling that you want to just round your back. And I'm going to do 2 or 3 of these. Okay, take a breath. Okay, hip, push, rib cage up, drop as low as you can. Don't go too far forward. Rib cage up, and then come back. Okay, now I'm going to take this back and bring it back down. I know it. Your back extensors should be feeling like zingers. I know, in a good way. All right, I'm going to put these down. And now I am going to get my leg weights out. You don't have to use leg weights. If you are having a real tough time with your back, a knee, a hip, whatever, you do this whole next thing with no weights. Now, if you have a good set of leg weights, you should be able to, many of you got them from me, because we use these all the time when I was in a live class, in-person class. Anyway, a good set of leg weights, you should be able to open them up easily, this with Velcro, and pull out the bars is the point. So you can make them as light or as heavy as you want. All right, all right, all right. So here we go. And mine, I'm trying to think what these are. Mine are, I do not know. I'm thinking they're about an 8 to 10 pound one. I'm not sure. Okay, so I'm going to strap them on. They may be 5. I think they're more than 5. But anyway, so see this? See this? Do that. And if you're feeling like, ooh, those are too heavy, because if I try to lift my leg very high with these, like on putting your foot up on the chair, it's going to be too heavy. Okay. So if you're sitting, whatever the leg weight is you chose, just pick it up. Pick it up. You should be able to feel how the heaviness is. And you should be able to lighten them up if you want to. Okay? So I'm going to go from here. I'm going to do stand up. So I'm going to come right into here, stand up. I'm going to have my low little 2-inch pad. If I need it, I'm going to have my little bar. It could be a golf club. It could be an old broom handle, a mop handle. It could be a dowel for my third point of contact. So I'm going to try out my lift and tap. See that? Lift and tap. So on the low one, we're going to lift, and see I'm using my little pole. And if you start using your pole too heavily, meaning you're leaning in and your shoulder's getting sore, you're using it too heavily. You're just using this to keep you on balance. Maybe just put one finger on it. Shift See, if you put one finger on it, you're not going to be tempted to bear down on it, okay? Tight tummy. I'm going to bring my leg up. I'm going to put it on that 2-inch pad. Then I'm going to bring it back up. I'm going to shift. Do the same thing. And why am I doing this? Because I'm going to do a little extension, but I'm going to do it lower. Then I'm going to do the higher one. That's why I want you to use your little pad. And it's only 2 inches high off the floor. So I'm going to go lift, tight tummy. Is your rib cage up? Because this is the primary time that most people will cave. And they'll round their back, even a tiny bit. But it's very important not to round your back. So right here, before I put the foot down, I'm just going to straighten my leg against this weight. I'm going to keep this pole so I don't drift. I'm going to straighten that leg. I'm going to straighten that leg. See, I'm bending and straightening, and I'm right over here. I'm right over my little pad. And then I'm going to go toe tapping, toe tapping, toe tapping, toe tapping. Keep your balance. Tight tummy, rib cage up. Toe tapping, toe tapping, toe tapping. Bring it back. Toe tapping. And I can keep my knee at a downward trajectory. I can't do that if I was going for a higher step. I hope you're following my procedure here so you understand. I'm trying to do this so you can do this kind of work safely with a back, with a hip. So now I'm shifting. Start thinking, rib cage up. You're going to bring your leg up. You're going to put it down. You're going to bring it up. You're going to put it down. That's the angle. So here I'm going to go. I'm going to bring it up. And at that point, I'm going to straighten against that weight resistance. And I'm really using my pole because I don't want to get off balance here, right? But this is much harder to balance, even using this heavily. Yeah, you have to really think about it, or you're like doing all kinds of little shifting moves to keep doing this move. See that? Okay, ready? Okay, toe tap and toe tap and toe tap. So that's an up down toe tap against that weight. Breath. Keep this leg right here, the supporting leg. Don't lock it. See, it's a toe tap, breath. It's a toe tap, breath. It's a toe tap, breath, and it's a toe tap. You should be feeling that everywhere, especially in your back. Your back extensors are working hard in order to do that kind of a work. Okay, I'm going to keep my little pole, P-O-W-L. Nancy's rolling her eyes. I can feel it. Okay, are you ready? Not ready? Okay. If you don't feel ready, if you're feeling tight in your back, you should. So let's take 1 second and do a little turn. See this? This totally releases that tight back extensor that other move is designed specifically to work your back extensors. You're doing one at a time. You're doing low tapping, low lifting, but we got to wait on the end of the lever. That gives quite a load for your back extensors, okay? And that's why I keep saying you need to make sure that you do this progressively. So that means if you need to lighten up on your leg weights, take a few bars out, okay? You should feel a lot better just from doing those few little turnouts. Okay, here we go. You ready? So I'm right here. I got my little pole. Now, those of you who really struggle with balance, you can have a pole and a wall, okay? You can have a pole and another chair. I'm giving you ideas so that you don't fall while trying to help yourself, okay? So, And I have a phone number to give you if you need other encouragement in order to do this kind of a thing. I won't mention any names. Okay. Sorry. I'm showing you how to do this. So use those parameters. So I'm going to shift. I'm going to bring that leg up to the toe. I'm going to tighten my tummy. Drop my shoulders. Bring that leg all the way up. See that? I'm going to bring it up and tap. Up and tap. See that? Boom. Big breath. And then I'm going to go down. So I did 3 taps. I'm going to shift, do it again. I'm just going to do 2 sets on this side, bring it down. And last time, 3 and 3. And we put a tap in there. So right here, rib cage up, breathe through your nose, tap, lift, tap, down, shift. Yeah, we're going to the other side. So put those chairs, those walls, the poles, maybe have 2 poles, whatever you need. Big breath, rib cage up, shift. See that? Here I come. I'm going to bring it all the way up and bring it down. Then I'm going to go up, tap, one more, up, tap. Now go down and bring it all the way up again. Keep this knee soft, all the way up, bring it down, all the way up, bring it down, all the way up, and tap again. So it's going to be, bring that toe up, bring the whole leg up. Don't lock your knee. Rib cage up, squeeze tight in the tummy, squeeze tight. Breath, and bring it all the way down. I know, you should feel that in your back extensors, those back extensors on either side of your vertebrae. Those are the key. Those are your gluteals, pretty much, your hips are big keys to keeping balance, keeping strong in your core, etc. However, what you're given is a lot of moves out in the media everywhere that many of us really cannot do if you have joints replaced, if you have significant injuries. But I'm showing you another way to skin the cat, so to speak, okay? I'll have to look into the origins of skinning the cat. Maybe we don't want to know that. Okay, now I am going to put this down. I'm going to turn my chair around because this time I have 2 pretty good weights on my ankles. And I'm going to do the other move that I introduced to you, which I told you if I had a magic wand, I would have you be doing this move combined with a lift pretty much every day, probably 3 sets of 10 every day. And why would I say this one instead of, yeah, squats are great, but you see, we use these, you know, just going to the John. We don't use these, they get weaker. If we don't specifically say, I am not going to let those get too weak. See here, I'm right here. So first thing I do is pull my chin in and down, big breath through the nose, drop my shoulders, rib cage up, put that leg back here like you're striking a match, and then you bring that heel to your hip. But ask yourself, is my knee heading out to the side? If it is, pull that little sucker in. So it's just going to go pull. We're going to go pull. We're going to go pull. Say rib cage up. Yes, you're leaning in a little from your hip, but you're going to say rib cage up. Don't sling the weight. Just muscle it up there. After you've done maybe 6, maybe 8, then we're going to do 2 or 3 straight lifts. Okay, here we go. Are you ready? Are you ready? Right now. Okay, it's just a straight on lift. Say rib cage up. Big breath through the nose. Woo! Squeeze your butt. Here we go. Was that 3? Okay. One more. All right. Here we go. Now Kathy's rolling her eyes. Rotate, rotate, rotate. Drop your shoulders. Yeah, this is your little inner set. I know. Okay, we got plenty of time to do the next one. Are you ready? Do your mantra. Can you give it to me? Start yelling it out. Chin tucked, shoulders down. Breathe through the nose, rib cage up. Now soften that knee. Put the toe back. See, start back here. Keep your knee headed down. Don't let it sneak out on you. Bring that heel up. And you know what some of you just now did? If you have a leg weight, you went into doing this lift and you held your breath and you did this. Whoa, that's what you did. How do I know that? Because that's what slugs do. So I'm telling you, drop your shoulders. Do not do that little throw of the leg. You are muscling it up, okay? Shoulders down, back here, tight tummy. Take a breath and exhale. And let the power come from here, okay? Breath and exhale. Make sure the knee is headed down. Don't squeeze that heel in too tight. I'm warning you, if you do, you're gonna get a cramp in your hamstring and it hurts. So if you even feel it getting tight on you, just go straight and put your heel down. See, that's it. Then when you go into the move, squeeze, but don't throw it, and don't squeeze it too tight. Okay, I've got about 3 more. Pull, maybe 4. So I'm doing 1 set. Take a big breath. Here we go. Try to stay even. Don't let that knee go out to the side. Okay, 1 more. Curling. Okay, keep it straight. Now don't throw it, tighten your butt. Take a breath, exhale, breath, exhale, breath. Don't bend the knee, exhale, breath, exhale, breath, exhale. 2 more, exhale, 1 more, exhale. And that butt should be super tight. Release. I'm just gonna see where we're at here. Oh dear. Okay, last move here. Okay, we're gonna go back on our heels. I got my leg weights on. So I've added about, I think these are 8 each. So I've got weights on my ankles. So whatever you picked out. I got my chair right here. See how I'm going to my heels? So here's what you need to hear. If you're doing this with a leg weight on, okay, you're gonna hip hinge, you're gonna pull your toes up in dorsiflexion. See that? Just rocking and rolling, going into a full foot, flat foot, then shift and go into your heels. That kind of a weight shift and then into your toes. If you don't have a chair here, it will surprise you how much just having weight on those ankles vary the way you can handle the shifting, the balancing, just this against these weights. Yeah, it's a big deal. So the weight of your shoe, all of those factors come into play with keeping your balance and shifting, okay? And the reason I want to show you this is when you do these kinds of walks with a leg weight on, you're doing all kinds of weird shifting in order to take these steps. See that? This is the reason why you do not walk around with leg weights. That's not how you use leg weights. If you want to walk around and get the benefit of a weighted walk, you do it with a weight vest, or you do it with putting a backpack on, or holding weights up here on your shoulders, but you don't walk around with weights. Now I'm taking a few steps here, and I'm doing it very slowly, and I'm putting all the parameters in place of your body positioning. I'm just taking 1 or 2 steps and I'm rolling front to back. And then I'm going to go front, front, and then I'm going to go front, front. And see, I'm just shifting. I'm shifting into the front toes, into the back heels, into the front toes, into the back heels. But do not put your weights on and walk around your house and think you're going to help yourself. You're better off getting on the stairs and doing some stair work for your ankle and foot and for your legs. And then for your overall benefit, especially for osteoporosis, get a weight vest on or do some of the moves that we did during this whole session today. So now, how do you get your weights off safely? Number 1, sit down and do it. Number 2, if you want to really do a good stretch, you're going to go down the same way I showed you in the very beginning of this class on how to tie your shoes and put your shoes on. You do it the same way. And see, I can just simply release by pulling a Velcro, and I'm hip hinged, and then I'm going to go down, grab my ankles, straighten the backs of my legs, really pull my body in. Then I'm going to bend my knees. I'm only going to do that a couple of seconds, and then I'm going to come up, and then I'm just going to turn again. Turn and turn, turn and turn. So this is an example of how to get a weighted workout without overheating. Slow down, maybe decrease your weights, and then be really careful about your body position. Ribcage up. Have a great day. Let me take it off.